Welcome to Aunty K's, your favorite radical queer indigenous auntie, bringing you tarot every day. Hello everyone, and welcome to Aunty K's Tarot. So today I'm doing a deck update video for the second time because the first version of this didn't record. It was so much more in depth. I had my table out, I laid out cards. I'm not doing that a second time. We're going to go through this in a different format and look at the new decks that I've been using and how I feel about them, having used them, and what my deck use has looked like this year so far. And I've been keeping a tally of what decks I used at that week, at the end of the week. So we're into the 6th week of the year of 2023, and I have used my Rana George deck every week. I've used my Rana George deck every week, and that is probably no surprise to anybody. Demora's Fortunes, I have used 5 of these past 6 weeks, and the donut playing cards, I have used 4 of these past 6 weeks. They've been on my reading table in the container I use for the cards I'm using that week. It's just some weeks I didn't reach for them even though they were right there. And so that is interesting. I pulled out Pink Sugar and have now had it on my reading table for 2 weeks. The Key Master Tarot. I have had this deck for 3 weeks, and I have used it every week. I typically use this deck in a spread that is 4 across and 5 down, with a 5th row down, making it 5 by 5. That is my answer row. Sometimes I just pull the 4 by 5 square out of this, and then I'll use another deck for my answer row. And that way, if I pull a card in my answer row, it has a chance of repeating in the message and in the answer row. And then I know to really pay extra attention to that card. And I find that really useful. And I might use another tarot deck for that, or playing cards, or even a Lenormand. And while a Lenormand deck doesn't have all of the playing cards, it has several of them. And I will read them in different ways. I will either use their playing card insert, or if it's like the Tower or the Star, I can look for either the playing card insert or the Tower or the Star in tarot. So that's how I've been using this deck. It's elegant, and it's gorgeous, and I really love it. And I've been using it way more than my Cat Marseille. In fact, my Cat Marseille moved off my reading table for the first time 2 weeks ago, because I just not been using it when I have this as an option. Occasionally, just not a lot. I got the Clarity Tarot for review, and it has stayed on my reading table. I have used it every week, and I'll tell you how I'm using it. So I work for Purple Ocean and Purple Garden. They're the same company, 2 different platforms. But one of the things people can do is ask a yes/no question. I think they pay like $5 for that. And the reply they get back is a typed answer. It's by text. it is between 350 and 1,000 characters. So its maximum size is half of an Instagram post. And I will usually pull 5 cards to answer those questions. And I most frequently use the Clarity Tarot for that. It has yes, no's in the corner, which is really useful. It has keywords, and it has the images that we all know and are accustomed to, but are diverse and both modern and not modern. And so I most frequently use that for those questions, which means it does get a lot of use. It gets used several times during the week. And it's really great for that. It's awesome for a yes, no. I just got Rustic Roots Lenormand by Melissa Witherspoon, who lives just a couple hours away from me. And I'm really enjoying this deck. Some of the images are changed. That some of them have an impact on me where I'm like, where's the heart card? Where's the heart card? The coffin has the Book of Matches. Visually, it really lines up and it works. I sometimes have to look for the dog card, and I remember my dog's leaping across the moon. This ring card has never confused me. It looks like a ring with the mushroom like the stone, and I see the rings of the tree super clearly. I love the Big Dipper as the stars. So this heart card is adorable, and it sometimes takes me a moment to identify that's my heart card. Mice has been easy. And I'm really enjoying this deck in a lot of ways. Okay, the garden card. It has a few cards which I end up looking which one's which one's which. Anchor card has always come out clear for me. Sometimes I'm looking for that tower, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's like a fire tower. I love that child card. That's the house card. Reads easy to me. I had a house, my home. This was my home for a while. I do sometimes take a moment to be like, where's my key card? Oh yeah, maple keys. So the clover and the bouquet. So they sometimes confuse me. I won't lie. They do sometimes confuse me. But I think they're absolutely gorgeous, and I feel like I will come to identify them really well. I've only had this deck a couple of days. So, you know, the opinions on this deck are a lot more new than others. The size as a skate has worked for me very clearly. The fox is adorable. We've got Seeker and Person. There is a man and woman card also. And the woman card is absolutely gorgeous. It's gorgeous. But having a Seeker and a Person card just means I'm prepared for every reading. I sometimes am like, where's my clouds? Because they are not the main focus of this card. And so that is tricky for me. And that is the Person card to go along with the Seeker. So I really enjoy it. I think the guidebook is delightful with the poems in it. I think the descriptions of the cards lean on the side of positivity. So if you needed to use the guidebook for knowledge of cards, that could be really difficult. I've enjoyed some of those fresh points of view on some cards, but we need difficult cards for life's difficult ordeals and events. But this deck might give Rana George a run for her money because I love the Rana George deck because it's her home. But this is my home, and the people are dressed like people I know. Almost as everybody wearing plaid. Well, the child's not. Let's look. Oh, the seeker's not. They're backpacking. But the creator references the Bancroft dinner jacket. And having lived in Bancroft, that gave me a good laugh. It is definitely a term I've heard plenty of times, and it feels like home, and I'm loving it. And I'm making this video today because I have 6 decks all out for delivery today, and 2 are from MPC that I ordered January 7th, and 4 are from Indie Deck Review, arriving in 2 different packages, sent a week apart, but both arriving today. So I wanted to get this update on how these new decks have been working for me and what's on my table and how I've been using my cards before they came in. I will see you all later, folks.